Hello everyone, it's Scott O'Mato back for another video in my series on Dooglamoo Cities. This one is going to be part 4 video, and it's going to be a short video, but it's going to be on an important item in the Dooglamoo Cities mod, which is actually not listed in JEI, but that is going to be the City Planner Guide. And I'm going to show you quickly how to craft that. So it uses a coin pouch, which the coin pouch is any type of wool and a string will get you the coin pouch. Then if you were to look at the uses of the coin pouch by pressing the U key here in JEI, by hovering over the item, you'll see that if you combine a book and the coin pouch, then you will get the City Planner Guide. So let's go ahead and do that quickly. Switch away. And here's our coin pouch and our book. It looks to be a shapeless recipe, and that gives us the City Planner Guide. Now, the City Planner Guide is pretty much a manual, but what it shows you is the requirements for the different blocks. So it has some important information in it that you'll want to refer to throughout the mod. So for instance, on the farm block, it's showing you the size is 32 by 32 and 8 high is its vertical. Then I'll show you the food that it needs. This is an important item here, that it needs 2 food of quality 0. And also in this video, we'll look at food quality quickly. When it is active, sunrise to sunset, what it needs, so what it requests, it needs a hoe, and it needs plantable items, so it needs crops, and it produces crops and seeds. All right, so every block in the game has a entry for that. So lumber mills 32 by 32, 40 high. It needs 2 food per day of quality 0. So pretty much any food is what quality 0 means. Sunrise to sunset, axe, saplings is what it makes or what it needs. It needs an axe, it needs saplings, and it produces wood logs, saplings, apples, charcoal. So every block in the game has an entry that describes that. And so that is very useful information to have that you can refer to without having to go to the wiki or memorize it. And it'll tell you, again, all of that information for each type of block in the game. So the buildings themselves, it'll tell you the number of blocks that are needed as well, which is very useful. So it'll tell you that it needs a slab, just one. It needs 252 blocks of your certain type, and this is the office again. And it tells you the cost as well of the office. Stained glass, 72, stone brick, 12, wood planks, 103, lighting, 4. So that's very useful information to have for the buildings. And then it'll tell what it imports and exports, which means what types of industries can be inside of it, and how it can transfer items to the global market and all that kind of stuff. So very useful information to have, kind of hidden in how you get to it. But again, you just use a book and a coin pouch, and you'll get this City Planner Guide. All right, so let's just quickly look at food quality. You could see that the Dooglamoo Cities mod adds a couple of tooltips. It adds the cost of items or the value of items, however you want to look at them. So like $5 for stone, $2 for granite, and throughout all the vanilla items, it'll give them a price. That price is set in the configs, can be set in the configs. So a diamond is $1,000. An emerald is $100. And then a block of emerald, notice, has a bit more value than just the single emerald. So it's 9 of them to make a block, but it's $945 for the block of emerald, whereas a diamond again is 1,000, and so a block of diamond is $94.50. So the blocks are actually worth a little bit more than they would be from the sum of their parts. So that's interesting. But let's look at like foods. So let's look at wheat, for instance, has a actually doesn't have a food quality listed. So let's look at seeds. Do they? No. Okay, so it's wheat and seeds must not be considered foods then in that case to have a quality to them, whereas a potato has a quality of 1.6. So that's telling me that you couldn't feed wheat, which makes sense, to any of the buildings that wouldn't qualify for food. So the potato has a 1.6 value, and the baked potato has an 11 value, so quite a bit of increase. And then even the poisonous potato has a value of 3.2. Carrots have a food quality of 6.6, and a golden carrot has 20.4. So that's interesting. Let's look at apples. The regular apple is 6.4 quality. The golden apple's 13.6 quality. And then this notch apple is basically the same. And then raw meats, 4.8 for a raw pork chop, 2.4 for raw fish, 2.4 for raw salmon, 4.8 for raw beef, and so on. I won't go through all of them. But cooked versions, we saw that the salmon and the fish were the same, but it's 11.0 for the cooked fish, but it's 15.6 for the cooked salmon. So that's interesting that although they're equivalent when they're raw, the cooked salmon's worth more. So 13.2 for cooked chicken, 11 for cooked rabbit, 20.8 for the pork chop. We already went over that. Let's look at steak. Steak is 20.8. So as you would imagine, that's one of the higher value ones. So when you look in some of these buildings, it's going to tell you, let's look for one that needs a high quality food. That was 6 back there. There's the large factory needs a quality of 11, and it eats 3 of those per day. So you would have to have some type of cooked food basically to, I don't think any of the even raw meats had that value. So you would need a cooked food to feed to those factory buildings. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I think that's a very important item that you'll want to craft because you'll refer to it as you build out your city, and it has some good information in it. And it's a little hidden, but you can find it, and then using those tooltips will help you to fulfill the requirements. So that's going to be it for this video. This is Gato Mato. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.